Have the courage to let go of your life and become who you came here to be. You know, I think so many of us do not realize that we can become someone completely different than who we've ever imagined. Most of us don't realize just how much we can change. Most of us are bogged down into believing that we can't change too much about ourselves, where we will grow up in our environments and we will become whatever the environment programmed us to become. And then if we were to lean into like what our heart is telling us, if we were to lean into our authentic interests, our higher self, that higher performer, we have to surrender our previous life. We have to surrender our comfort. We have to surrender all of our hang-ups around what we want. It's kind of counterintuitive. To get what you want, you have to surrender what you want. Right? And then let me go into depth on what that paradoxical statement. So what you really want is to live at your highest potential, right? What you authentically want, right? Your authentic wants are going to be around operating at a high standard, putting in the work every day. Someone that works out every day, fucking has a solid sleep schedule, works like crazy, is super proactive, is brave, faces their fears, right? That's your authentic self. That's your ideal self. But that takes a lot of courage to surrender to. You would have to give up your lower wants, right? So your wants for comfort, your wants for all that dumb stimulation, such as that junk food, those video games, any source of what I call dopamine fishing, where you're fishing for dopamine, scrolling on Instagram, looking for memes, right? Stuff that doesn't fulfill you, right? And so what I suggest is to have the courage to actually surrender into who you came here to be. And in this surrender, I actually am suggesting where in a way, you're letting go of your life. You're letting go of your old life, of where you say goodbye to, playing video games all day. You say goodbye to looking at memes. You say goodbye to sleeping in, right? In order for the new self to come into the playing field, you have to let your old self die. And this old self we have to let go of. We have to have the courage to let go of that. For me, when I think about my younger self, if I told him that I would no longer play video games, or at the very least, I would play video games once in a blue moon, if I told my younger self that, he would just recoil, because at the time I had such an identity in the vices. I had such an identity in being a gamer, someone that's like a memer, a shit poster. I didn't have this identity that I have now of a speaker, a coach, someone that empowers other people, a self-actualization junkie, someone that's really passionate about personal development. Right? That's the identities I embody now. But back then, I didn't have those identities. Before I had identities that didn't serve my self-actualization. And that part of me had to die. And to become who I came here to be. I love that phrase, who you came here to be, making your life intentional. to become who you came here to be, you have to surrender to the monotony and the difficulty of sharpening yourself, of training yourself, just bit by bit, a little bit more and more every single day. You know, and it is in mastery. You know, the process of mastery is where you do the same thing, you know, same shit, different day. But you're constantly looking for ways to improve, to do it faster, to do it more efficiently, to do it with more care, to do it with more intention, right? Just doing the same thing over and over, you know, surrendering to those routines that are going to build you. But at the same time, having an aura, having an energy that you bring to the table, an intention that you bring to the table, where you are not only putting effort towards the routines, you know, putting effort towards building yourself, but you are looking for ways to improve your performance. You're looking for ways to do better. You know, you're curious about how you can show up to, you know, show up for today in an even more proactive fashion, in an even more intelligent fashion. So, you know, if you're like many, there are many things that you're doing in your life that you know are just not helping you. You know, a great question I love from Jordan Peterson, for example, is, what remarkably stupid thing are you doing on a daily basis to absolutely screw up your life? Man, what a powerful question. That one, when I heard that question, it immediately I became conscious of, like, yeah, I know exactly what the things I'm screwing up my life with right now. What would your life look like if you stopped doing all the dumb shit, if you stopped falling for your vices, if you stopped missing, you know? And what would your life look like if you started hitting every day? If you started, you know, if you no longer made excuses, if you continually every day, what would your life look like in 10 years if you did everything that you know that you need to be doing? Because you know what you need to be doing. And even if you don't know exactly yet, you know that you need to be making effort, you need to be taking copious amounts of effort to figure that out. So you still know what you still do know what you need to be doing at all times. There is no excuses here, right? There is always pockets in your day that you know, where you have an opportunity to make that choice to show up or not. Right? And it is in those moments that we continually make the correct choice. Do we surrender more, of our life towards embodying the life that we came here to live? It takes courage to live the life that you were meant to live. And not just in once in a while, in every fucking moment, not even on the daily, in the moments, right? That's true spirituality right there, right? It's not just going to a church and then coming home and then living your whole life fucked, right? It's living every single moment in a spiritual manner where you are intentional about bringing spirit to the table, intentional about spiritualizing your life by putting in massive amounts of effort in every single moment. And even how you think about things, how you choose to perceive your obstacles is going to determine the identity that you pick up and how you choose to walk this path of life. Every moment you have an opportunity to make a decision, to cast a vote into who you ought to become. And what I'm just suggesting here is that I want you to give yourself the courage to lean into letting go of your current old life and to step into who you came here to be. And with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next one.